Greetings, greetings, my dear Fantasistas. Hope you're all doing well. And with the Valencia event over, let's jump into the main event of the month. Let's hope we can get something decent out of this one. And let's see what can we expect from over here. There are some quite uh, obvious games where it's supposed to be like one way. Let's say Heroic against Sprout, supposed to be a quick one for Heroic. Most likely they're gonna start on the CT side on who knows on what map. But in general, they should take this one quickly with no problems. And with Jabi um, kind of being a surprise, what to expect from him? Can we expect him to kind of outfrag everyone? Potentially we can. Can we expect someone to take roles of refresh other than him? Yes, we can expect that. Can we expect Shush to do that? Probably. Can we expect Stone to kind of go as a carry, as primary carry? I'm not sure. I kind of haven't seen him doing that well in last couple of events. He was doing okay-ish, but not the MVP performance, and he's kind of overpriced for this event. So I wish I could say that he's worth that money, but he's definitely not. Any of these players can kind of outshine and get on the top of the leaderboard. Cadian, any time of day, he can have an insane game, especially against the lower tier teams. What's next? What's next? Next kind of obvious game is Big against Order, but Big gonna play with the Keto, and I expect Keto to kind of run around because that's kind of his comfort zone, like tier two teams, tier three, where he's just out aiming them. And Keto has been on form recently, but the problem is that next game is going to be against most likely outsiders, because Imperial, during the major they had like a miracle run, but now I don't expect anything from them. I'll be honest. I do expect them to lose to outsiders, then to beat Order and lose to whoever they're gonna face over there, like in the last game. So most likely it's gonna be Big against outsiders, and outsiders did show some promising CS during the Valencia event. They kind of disappointed me the event before, but like they they could have won against any of the teams they were facing, but just got to be unlucky. This event, I'm not gonna say that luck wasn't their side, but they were doing better. They were doing better. Then the next obvious game is Vitality against Tyloo. Pardon, Vitality against Tyloo. But on the Vitality point, uh, nobody is consistent other than Apex being shit and they were carrying. Like Misuta can pop off, Magis can pop off one game, the next game he can tank. Like what is that team? It's like they playing exactly the way that Navi used to play when Zeus was IGLing. Like do whatever is needed for Simple to get the frags, Simple gets the frags, we'll win the games. Yeah, great 200 IQ tactics. So I do want to pick Vitality, and I don't want to pick Vitality at the same time because they're gonna most likely they're gonna face Movistar because I don't see how Mibo can beat them, especially after removing Woody. They kind of tanked this event and ruined like many teams for Brazilian guys, and so most likely Vitality against Movistar, and then this one probably Vitality gonna win, but I'm not sure. Over here, it's most likely going to be outsiders against BIG, and again, outsiders are showing some decent CS, slightly underperforming still. Norbert is kind of lacking. Like he's like doing really well on one map, and like then he's disappearing. Then Astralis against Zero Nation. Look, even Cold Zero tweeted like a couple of hours ago, or like yesterday, that they're heading to Cologne right now, and the team has been up for like 2 weeks, and they haven't really had much practice. So do we really expect that team to beat Astralis? It's gonna be best of one, but blame F 1v9 anytime. Then Spirit against Complexity. This one is interesting since Spirit got a new guy, and if we consider that it might be the right time for Complexity to win like a game, then probably against this Spirit on best of one. Uh, it can be the right call. This potentially can be their game. Like, I do have faith in Spirit. They should be beating Complexity, but it's best of one, right? If it was best of three, then it would be obvious, like the bet is gonna go for Spirit. But over here, if let's say uh, it's gonna end up like on Dust 2, on which kind of Complexity is feeling alright-ish, then anything can happen. And we don't know how the new guy is gonna perform online. Like Patsy should be doing good, Siren should be doing good, Magix is kind of getting his, I don't know, his star position or something. He's doing really well. But if there will be an upset, then I believe that Complexity can take this one. And if we look at the next game, it's going to be against Astralis, like most likely. Then over here, current Astralis, you have to deal with Blamer because config is way too inconsistent. Glaive, I don't know, maybe he isn't really focusing on the game that much because I don't know, he's kind of dropping too much. Zip is just doing zip stuff, and his aim is not as crisp as it used to be, but his game sense is still there, and especially when guys like Config and Blamef they do some early damage like nades, headshots. Zip only has to hit like 1-2 bullets to to kind of finish the job, and Zip could be a good fit over here with the Blame F together for your team. And for Complexity, do they have a potential to upset Astralis? Yes. Will they do it? That's a tough one. That's really, really tough one. I don't think so. Then Pain against Mouse. Uh, Biguzera is great. Nathan is good. Hadozo okay. Neck is okay. Like Pain Gaming is that team that they can surprise you, or they're just gonna tank really, really hard. When Mouse, I don't know what to expect from Mouse, to be honest. Same thing. It's like 50-50 over here. Yes, Mouse is the European team. They should have a slight edge, but current Mouse, I don't know what to expect from them. Then obviously Heroics probably going to be Sprout too, quite easy, and then gonna face probably Sprout, not Sprout, probably Mouse. Still, it should be Mouse. Any time of day, it should be Mouse, but it's best of one again, and if we jump on the map page, match page, then what we're gonna see is Ancient being played by both teams. Overpass, I don't know, to be honest. This is tough. This is tough. It's really, really tough. But yeah, in general, the teams that should go through with a 2-0 like is Heroic, Astralis. I will still go for Outsiders and Vitality. Will these teams go through? I don't know. Any other team is kind of irrelevant right now because let's be honest, which team can actually be a real competitor in the main event? Heroic and Vitality. Outsiders have a potential to upset. Astralis can put a fight, but I don't expect anything from them. Teams like Movistar, like BIG, Spirit, Mouse, Pain. Well, as I said earlier, BIG deserved to win something, and they won. They just got their trophy, right? Is that enough for them? Don't know, but it is what it is. So, with that said, let's just jump to the teams. Let's go with the playing stage. So, this is the team that I put in as a common sense team, right? As a common sense. So, for me, this is most obvious, and like this team should be enough to get you like 6 to 8 points, right? If Heroic go 2-0, if Apex doesn't screw up and they go 2-0, should be all good. Should be all good, and probably even more than enough to kind of to get yourself into those top 10% and get some decent points. Because Astralis, as I said, they have a potential to lose to a winner of this game, but most likely they won. Even if it's going to be Spirit against Astralis, still Astralis have a slight edge in terms of, we all know, Blame F. And that's the common sense team. I don't know what to say, right? But I'll be honest, it won't be me if I don't try to find a team that can be either zero or hero. And in this event, you have to pick Misuta if you trying to go for that team, right? It's gonna be like best of one the first game, the best of one against Tai Lu. There is a huge possibility it's gonna be something like Inferno, Misuta on Banana. Oof, oof. Against Chinese guys, he can farm some good points, right? Then next player that potentially has really huge, really huge opportunity to go big is Flit. I'll explain. Flit is playing majority of Yekenda roles, but Flit is kind of giving them a twist, and he's trying to not purely aim, but he's trying to bring some intellectual game in there as well, right? Not just Flit go kill, but Flit go try do something, right? He's doing the stuff that's technically Config's supposed to do on Astralis, but he's lacking that. He's really lacking that. And against Imperial, it can be a quick one because if James hits his shots, if Fleet does really well, it can end pretty quick, right? The next player that potentially can bring you plenty of points, and we all know is going to be Blame F. Blame F can 1v9 almost every game, so it's not really that tough. Then next one, it's kind of no-brainer. You have to get Cadian, and you're gonna have 174k left, which means FNX, David G, or JT, or Rouse, right? And Rouse was decent, but it's like there isn't anyone that kind of really fits in. And because Movistar playing against MIBR, Daviji is kind of great fit, I would say. And we still have like 6k left. And with this team, we have really great entry potential. Misuta, Fleet can go big. Blamef, kind of safe pick. Cadian, IGL Oping. So this is that kind of team which most likely gonna get you probably around the same points as the first one, but this team has actually potential to kind of win the event, right? Kind of win this thing, because let's be honest, Movistar most likely gonna beat these guys, right? Then Movistar against Vitality, anything can happen, and at this point, if Misuta wins, then 2-0 for 178k guy, great. If Davi G wins, then 2-0 for 168k guy, great. So this is kind of gamble for that 2-0 position, and then everyone else potentially can be a carry of their own team. Blamef can go like what 30 bomb on the first map, first game. Then Flit can do the same. He can 30 bomb. Then best of threes, Flit probably can do really well since the map pool of BIG and outside is quite similar. But even if they don't, it's probably gonna be like a team they will have to waste someone like Tyloo, MIBR winner, or like what's it gonna be 0 Nation against Complexity winner, or like Sprout against Pain winner. It's like, look, those type of teams, they're really beatable. And if if let's say if you have more faith into, let's say, Jame as an AWPer, you can always swap. You can always swap Jame and add like Tessus or anyone else. It depends who you prefer, right? But this kind of approach makes most sense because I'll say one more time. Vitality, you never know which one of them is gonna perform. You can have Misuta going for every single entry frag and hitting those entry frags, aim botting like crazy, or you can have him like going and dying. Apex can do the same. Magis can do pre. They underwhelming right now, and I'll be honest, I prefer to have a gamble with this team, and maybe I will just go for where is he? Where is he again? I'll go for Flit one more time because I have slightly more faith in him. And I love Tessus, but this is probably time when it's time to get Cadian up and get him as Niger. But I'll be honest, I'll get him as Niger, maybe. No, not maybe. Opa. So yeah, I'm gonna drop these rolls on them quickly. Headshot Machine or Entry Fragger? Probably Headshot Machine, right? Davi G, support player. Flit, he's a multi-fragger, but also entry fragger. So Flit is kind of doing like everything. But if we go for multi-fragger, it's no brainer, right? It has to be Blame F. Then Flit, I will risk and I'll get Flit as an IGL. Then this way, and that's it. This is my team. That's what I'm gonna go and gamble with. So as always, drop your teams, have fun, and thank you. Thank you for your support. See ya.